What's up, everybody? Scott and AJ back here. As you know, those of you that are following us and joining in, but what a big golf week. So we got what is this, episode 42 that we're coming at you with right after the US.
42. It's always golf o'clock. It's just
Right.
going to new heights, buddy. New heights.
Hey, we're gonna hit episode 50 this year. That's a milestone.
Big milestone. And hey, to all those subscribers we have, hey, talk to your friends. Get them to join our page. We need you. We need you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We love you guys.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we gotta do a recap of the US Open tonight, what everybody thought there, and then kind of dive into the Travelers Championship a little bit, just
Yeah.
because I've had some experience up there. Went to that golf tournament when I was up there living in Connecticut. Great course and everything. I think it's kind of a bummer it gets played after the US Open because some of the bigger
Well,
golfers don't
well,
go.
now it's a signature event. So you got
Yeah,
Scotty Scheffler, you got all these guys playing in it now. So it's the
yeah,
only signature event out in the Northeast. So it's kind of it was a good move by the PGA Tour to make it a signature event because you do want to get those bigger players to come up there. A lot of times you don't get to see them up there because they only have the one event. So I think it's pretty good. But yeah, so that's always a fun event to watch. But
yeah. We'll
dude, did
dive
you?
into that and then just kind of briefly talk about our golf games real quick. Might be a quicker episode, but
Yep.
hey. So, but yeah,
What did you think of the U.S. Open?
man, I'll be honest with you, I didn't get to watch any. I watched actually, you know what? I did watch a little bit. Had some pulled up on the computer on slow time at work and stuff, but it played how I thought we thought it was gonna play. I
Yep.
think I said to you, the winner could be at like even or -1 or
Yeah.
whatever. And look
I
at
didn't
you thought it
I
was gonna
didn't
be
think it was going to be
-4.
that. I didn't think it was going to be that high. I thought it was going to be 5 or 6 under or something like that at the course. And I think it may have been if they didn't get all that rain.
You're
I
right.
think the rain really threw a lot of issues out for them. Now I know they wanted it hard and fast and everything and burned out a little bit, and it didn't get that way because of the rain. But I think the rain brought another element into it, with the wet lies, with the rough being really thick and heavy.
Right.
Sand was changed. I think the course played so different during those 4 days that it really kind of threw some people off. But it was like I watched a lot of it. I mean, on Sunday we had no softball, we had no practice. I'm not gonna lie to you. I sat my butt down at 12 o'clock, and Catherine actually set an
Right.
alarm on my watch, so she knew golf was starting on Father's Day. And I sat outside and I watched it. I cooked dinner and I was like flipping. I think I made a steak. Yeah, we made steak and stuff like that. I'm like flipping a steak. I got my little iPad with me running around, so I
I
wouldn't miss
think
it. It was awesome.
the craziest thing I think I saw, well, I guess I wasn't watching live, but the highlight was actually by the winner was
AJ
with
Spaun
JJ Spawn when he had that shot. I don't can remember what hole it was, but
when it hit the pin.
it rolled all the way back. Like
Number two. So that was the last day. And JJ Spawn was one back when he started the day. One back when he started the day of Sam Burns. Bogeyed one. Okay, he bogeyed one. And then two, he's in the middle of the fairway and he hits an absolute gorgeous,
right,
gorgeous wedge shot or gorgeous iron shot into the green. Hits the pin and literally rolls back
right, right,
200 yards, I think,
right.
off the green.
You
Goes
know,
on to bogey that hole. He bogeyed 5 of the first 6 holes, dude.
right, and that's what I was going to get into. That gives people like me even more hope because look, he bogeyed, he was behind, and then he comes back, and so you can't give up, and you got to believe. And just his story, his success story from how he only made like what $843 on tour or something,
Something like
some
that, yeah. A couple
ridiculous.
years ago, yeah.
Kind of been up and down, almost lost his tour card actually. But just don't give up, and have
Yeah.
patience.
The resiliency that he showed and the poise that he showed. He lost to Rory at the Players Championship in a playoff. And he said he learned a lot from that because he knew he can play with these guys now and the better players. And he hit two of the okay, I would say I really want to say three of the best shots of the tournament. The one was the drive on 17, where he drove it onto the green, where everybody was struggling with that hole. It was 310 yards. People were putting it on the green before. The problem with that hole is they have a really big bunker down there on the right side. It's called Big Mouth, and it's like 10, 12 feet deep. Okay. Well, that people were trying to get it into that bunker because it's not a hard blast out. The pin was on the other side of the green. The issue was they weren't getting it into the bunker. They were leaving it in the rough where they
Yeah.
had such a steep angle, like a downhill angle, and then they put it into the rough on the other side and it wouldn't come back into the bunker. So the rough was so thick and so penal to them that that shot that he hit on 17 to get it on the green, and then he went on to birdie that hole. And then the drive on 18, you had to get that ball into the fairway. Everybody going to the right on that drive was bogeying it left and right. They weren't getting it on the green. They weren't able to get out. That was some of the thickest rough on the course. He piped the drive down the fairway, put it to the left side of the green, and then he made an
Made
unbelievable
that
putt.
putt. Yeah.
64-foot putt. He got a great read off Victor Hovland, and I give him a lot of credit because you know how hard it is standing on a tee box
Oh,
when people are watching you, the Rangers out there, and there's a lot, for him to go in those pressure situations
not
and
only
hit
that, but
those
the
two
weather wasn't great.
drives, and the weather was raining on him. It was a mess. But and then Bobby McIntyre posted one over par, so he knew he was one. He had a one. He was even. He was tied with Bobby McIntyre going to 17, and he knew he needed a birdie there. He got the birdie there to go one up, and then to stand on that tee shot where everybody was going right. Everybody was going right. He piped one down the middle and was able to hit a miraculous putt. So I give him a lot of credit, and showed a lot of poise, and I love to see those stories, and you love to hear those kind of those underdogs come up and win those events. But I got to give him credit, and everybody was falling back, and I felt bad for a couple for like Sam Burns. I thought got a bad break in the
Oh
fairway on
yeah.
12 when they didn't give him relief. But you can't, you're not there, you can't see it. You know what I mean? He had two officials come in. It looked like it was a really wet lie, and he should have got relief. I mean, one thing they talked a lot about this U.S. Open, and I think one of the rules that I don't like is if you hit a good drive and you're in the fairway, if you're in a divot, I don't like you have to hit it out of a divot. I
Right.
mean, you hit a good shot. We don't play that way. When you and I play, if you're in a divot, we move it out of the way. We fill that divot in because most of the
Especially
people don't fill.
if it's a wet day, it's lift, clean, and replace too.
Yeah, but
Which they
but
have.
like but when we play, like we fill that divot in that somebody left out there first of
Right.
all, and
Right.
then we hit a shot because we're not playing, we're not professionals. We play for fun. We love the game, and you hit a good drive, and we don't hit 14 fairways. We hit like what, eight? If we hit 8 to 10 fairways in a day, we've had a good day. But you want to be able to enjoy the game, and I think I understand the rules, and I know there's a lot of purists out there that'll sit there and say, "Well, you're not playing by the rules," But I understand that. But I think if you put it in a divot and another person's divot, that is not it's not a man-made thing. I'm sorry, it's not a natural occurrence. That is a
Right. Right.
man-made event that
Right.
occurred because that
Right.
dude before me hit the club into the ground and caused the ground to disturb. Fill it in and move it over a little bit.
Right.
It's not. I just that's my thought on it, and I think
I
Sam Burns
thought
got
I
real
posted
rookie.
for those of you that follow our Instagram page, I posted a good video today that another page might have been CBS Sports page did with interview with Jim Nance, and he was kind of talking about one question they asked him is what's one rule in golf that you wish you could change, and his was if you have a drive that goes out of bounds, you got to go all the way back to the tee box.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. I agree with that one too, dude.
like
Like, I mean,
hit from the nearest place it
just
went out of
you hit
bounds.
three there anyway. And again, again, the
And then
purists will say that's the rules of golf, and they're right. But there's a lot more people playing now than there was back in the
right,
day,
let me
and and you hold up a group like that. I don't,
right. Oh, I'm not doing that on a regular golf
we
course.
had that.
Oh, you're
Where
gonna hold
were
up.
we?
Uh,
Where were we? Where were we? Where my dad was still alive at the time, and
might be in
my
Orlando.
dad and I were playing. Somebody hit a drive, and we're waiting for them to get out of the fairway. The dude starts driving back. He said, "I lost my ball. I got to hit another drive." We all looked at him. We're like, "Are you freaking kidding me right now, dude?"
Yeah,
We had
you're
like
not
three
gonna do
people
that on
deep.
a regular public course because you're just gonna hold up play.
Well, that happened, and I thought you were with us when that happened, and we were looking like I was like, "Are you freaking?" I remember. I'll never forget that. My dad was man. My dad. He was like, "You got to be kidding me right now." This
Just
like,
hit
what
it
are you?
from where it went out of bounds, like. Anyways, I think another thing that Jim Nance says kind of goes back to the JJ Spaun success story is um they also asked him what's your number one tip you would give for a beginner golfer, and he said patience. You got to have patience with the game. It does it You're not going to get overnight. It can take you years.
Yeah.
but I mean, we're all still learning the game. We
Yeah, I
play,
mean, I've been playing for 20 plus years, and I still learn something new out on the course all the time.
so you just you got to have patience. So,
Yep. Yeah,
anyways,
but it was a
that's what
great.
I kind
I
of thought
loved
of
it.
the Open.
I thought the course was um I thought the course was extremely difficult, but I thought it was fair too. I thought if you hit a good drive, hit a ball into the green, you have an opportunity for birdie.
Unless it's
You know,
super.
I thought the course was fair. The rough was extremely penal. But that's what the idea of US Open golf and the rough is supposed to be. You don't hit the ball in the fairway, it's supposed to be hard to get back onto the green.
Right. Um,
Good idea.
I really wish the guy that you kind of picked would have had a better showing. I really like the guy Shane Lowry.
Oh, I know. Well,
He had the eagle, but he struggled. But
did
man,
you hear what he did on
he's
Friday?
he's just a good dude, you know.
Did you hear what he did on Friday?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing I was going to talk when he picked up his ball without marking it,
He forgot to mark
and
it,
then
and
he
he
just
picked it up as soon
and
as he
this
did
is
it. He looked up, he goes,
he
and touched
laughs.
it. He
Yeah,
laughed.
he just
Knew exactly what he did.
he's just a good. He just seems like a good old guy. Like I think he'd be fun to play around to golf with.
Yeah. So he had to replace it, and it was a one
Right,
stroke penalty because he
right.
picked up his ball. But like you, everybody does it. Like professional, these guys are professionals, and they make mistakes once in a while. It's part of the game. It's part of life. It's part of nature. It's part of everything. People are going to make mistakes, and the way he reacted with it by what are you
Right.
going to do? You know what I mean? Um,
He kind of laughed. I don't remember who he was playing with at the time. But he
it was
kind of
Rory and it was
yeah.
Justin Rose, and they all kind of laughed. And you know, I I have a little issue with like, you know, I was watching Rory a lot, obviously, and Rory was really frustrated. You know,
And
I don't like when you take your frustration, I guess, out on your clubs or the turf or something like that. Like I get mad at myself and I beat myself up a little bit, but I don't throw my clubs. Yeah, when have you ever seen me throw a club? Like I
right.
never throw a club.
Oh, he broke the T thing.
The what?
He broke the T marker
Oh,
on.
he broke the tee marker. He threw one 30 yards down the fairway. He's thrown clubs into the water and stuff like that. You know, I think that's just a bad look for young kids trying to play. And I see it more on the course now with the younger kids. Like you see kids throwing their things, or you're, you know, pushing things around, or ticked off, or hitting the turf. Like there's a couple times I played where people are mad at the green and they hit their putter into the green and they put a big mark in the green. Like there's no reason for that. I think that's
Right.
just my personal thought on it. I know it's frustrating and everything, but you're a million times 100 times millionaire. Like
Right.
just like okay, you hit a bad shot and the club didn't do it.
Right.
Like you did it, dude. Like you know and hitting the ball into the ground or hitting the club into the ground and making a huge div like Terrell Hatton does it all the time.
I
I'm
think
not a big fan of that.
I did do it once when I was in Florida, but it wasn't. It was in the rough. It wasn't on the best part of the golf course. Uh, but I think that's one plus to my game. I get frustrated, but I don't really like do a lot of stuff like that, you know.
Oh, you almost take me out. That's what you do.
With the golf ball. Yeah, that wasn't on purpose. That was just from a.
That was a different story for another day.
I am playing a little bit better out of the bunkers this year, so that's
You are. No. That's just my personal thought on it. Some people get like, but you know, I'll be the first one to tell you, like, if I had a bad hole, like I get mad at myself. Like I get like I lose focus
a few
or
choice words.
I do,
Then you
but my
birdie the next
goal,
three holes.
but that's the goal. Like I get upset about it, but then I really focus in, and I wish I could focus in for 18 holes like that because I'd be a really good golfer. But you know, it's hard to focus in for 5 hours or 4.5 hours. You know, I mean, it's just tough.
Especially when you're playing 4 days straight. But
Oh, that was such a good
yeah,
time though, wasn't it?
that's kind of my thoughts on the U.S. Open. I think we'll what? Should we dive into the Travelers here? So we won't
Yeah,
stay long on this, but you know, this is the one that what lately always been played after the U.S. Open.
it's out
It's
in Connecticut, right? Is it Hartford? It's out in Hartford or
yeah,
Cromwell
I
or
think it's actually in Cromwell, Connecticut,
Cromwell? Yeah, I
if I
think it
remember
is. Yeah.
correctly. But what is it? TPC Highlands.
Yep. Yep.
I was very fortunate when I worked at UConn. And worked with their basketball programs and stuff. Had a connection. Got some tickets to the tournament up there at the time, and
Sweet.
really great course. Kendall and my wife and I went and just walked around. It's nice just to see the property around there.
Yeah.
Golf
Yeah.
course is immaculate. Houses are phenomenal. but just a really good, a good track. Let me pull up the website here, see if we can share my screen. Um, let's see, here we go. Yep, cool. But yeah, here's a picture of it. Just
Yeah.
super, super nice place, and that's a fall picture. Got a nice fall
Yep.
leaves.
Look at that. That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty good course. I remember that hole with the train tracks. That one was actually BJ Singh. Speaking of driving and going back, he was. I want to say that was a par 4 or 5. I can't
I think
remember.
it's par five, right? It's par
Yeah,
five.
and he hits first tee shot off the left. Probably those railroad tracks right there. It might have been that hole that's right there by the water because I think
Yeah.
I was by
Yep.
the water. So he has to go back to the tee box. So right there, he's hitting three. Well, he
Yep.
ends up parring the hole because the next one he puts it straight out there and then chips or putted the next one in. I can't remember if he drove the hole or what, but that's the difference between them and us.
Sure. Sure.
But no, just a really good course if anybody ever gets a chance to go up there and either play or just see the tournament. But yeah, we'll see who wins this one, because
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Johnny and
I want to
Jason
say
could play
Scotty
well.
Scheffler's up there. Scotty's up there at the leaderboard right now. I think he shot 8 under for the day. Shot 62. He played as a par 70. So
Harris will play well to his game again. But
he's
just
back
a
in it.
great course. A little bit. Here's obviously their webpage a little bit. Um, in a very pretty area of Connecticut and everything. Let's see if we've got some. Might have the practice facility here. Go to photo gallery real quick. And you got the clubhouse there.
It's awesome.
Pictures of some of the holes. Yep, right there.
No, it's a great looking course. Looks
Yep,
awesome.
yep. But yeah, we'll see who wins. We'll see who wins that one. So
Yeah.
I'm sharing my screen here, kind of finish up here. But yeah, what last topic is our golf game. So we got
Oh
to
boy.
get.
You know, this is
We've
the
been
third.
trying
This
to
is hold
practice,
on.
but the weather hasn't been
Well,
great.
for like so yeah, the weather since since we came back from our trip, I think we've had a handful of days where it hasn't rained in the afternoon and the evening. Now I've also been really diving in with the girls with softball because we got our All-Star tournament this weekend. So wishing our girls the best of luck for our Little League All-Star tournament. I'm coaching them, and we play this weekend, and then we're kind of going to be taking a little break from softball. We got some travel games still we're going to be doing, but it's not going to be as busy in the summer. So so we've done this every year. This is the third time we've come back from the Villages trip. We come back in June, kind of like it's just like we like stop playing. And I don't know if it's because we just play ourselves out and we need a little break and everything like that. But I've played twice since we've been back. I played 9 holes at Meadowlands, and then Alex and I went out 2 weekends ago. Played Old Home Place. Um, but that's all. Now again, it's been like I said, I've been softball, raining, a lot of stuff going on, and everything like that. But I think we need to get going here, man. We got the 4th of July coming up, and maybe after that we'll try to play a little bit here. I know. This weekend maybe you and I'll be able to go out next weekend before we go to
Yeah,
Alex. His birthday's
are
coming
you
up,
in
so
town for fourth?
I am not. We're going to be heading up to Williamsburg. We're going to take the
Yes.
girls up and show them Little Bush Gardens and everything, and go from there. So we're gonna try to get out just a couple of days. We haven't decided. We actually haven't decided yet because we gotta see what the weather's going to be like. We may go. We may not go. We haven't decided.
Yeah.
So, but that's kind of the plan. But if we are here, we're definitely going to play. And then if not, we're definitely going to play. We got to get back into it every weekend if we can. Or, you made a great point. Now that we're in summertime, let's try to get together at least once a week where we can do some chipping and short game work, play 9 holes, have a little bit of fun. And I don't know why we can't do that. I say we try to do it and get back out there and get our game back up there because we got a fall trip to plan, man. We got to get ready for our fall trip.
Film a couple episodes that way. But
Yes.
yeah, I haven't I don't think I've played 9 holes or 18 since I've been back. I've been to the driving range a couple times, but had some stuff with the dogs,
Yep.
but yeah, probably I might get out tomorrow because I have
There you
a
go.
short day at work, so we'll see if I get some 9 holes in. Might be 9 afternoon.
9 afternoon.
Anyways, but
That's an 18 afternoon.
yeah, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. They
Yeah.
might be crowded because people have been able to get out, but it's also wet, so people may stay away too. So
Yeah, we've had some crazy storms in North
but my
Carolina. I mean, every day it's pretty much
yeah,
rained here.
my focus is gonna be what hurt me down in the villages, or else I could have some really, really better rounds. Is just the short game again. Get the pitching wedge down. You know, get that down. I'll
Yeah,
cut it off minimum 5 strokes probably.
yeah. I think that's where if you can kind of dial in 150 in,
Yep.
I think that'll really help your
How
game
many
out.
fairways did I hit, and I hit maybe 5 greens in regulation of all the holes.
Yeah, yeah. I need to, for my game, what I need to do is I think I need to start. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hitting the ball well. I'm not losing balls. I think just being a little more consistent um with my approaches, where I'm like not trying to pin hunt. You know what I mean? Like just get the ball into the middle of the green
Play
and two
smarter.
putt. Play smarter golf. I need to play some smarter golf. I'm playing a little, I think maybe a little too aggressive on some shots, and some of that
Play
like
aggressive in the villages. You can't play as much aggressive up here.
yeah, but even in the villages, I think I was just like I was pulling some irons. I pulled a couple of them really pretty bad because I was trying to, work them a little bit too much. Like like trying to hit a draw here, and I double crossed myself, and I hit a really bad draw. You know what I mean? I'm starting like if I'm hitting a draw, I need to start it out right and bring it back left instead of starting
Right.
it left and keeping it go left. And same thing with my drives. If I want to like normally I'm a fader of the golf ball, and I like now irons. I can hit both ways sometimes, but drive is I just usually fade it, and I was either over fading or overcooking it or double crossing it a little bit, but it's just being like, okay, just take a breath, relax, don't try to do anything too stupid, and just kind of play the course a little better. That's what I need to do, is just be a little smarter on the course.
Now mine, I I hit pretty decent off the tee box up there. Obviously, I couldn't tell you here yet because we haven't played, but yeah, I just get that like you
Hmm.
said, 150 yards and in. I would have been money. So
Yeah, I need to get a little better with the scoring clubs. I think that's where if I can really kind of hone in on that, I think I can get into the mid to upper 70s consistently is where I really want to be. Because I feel like I'm hitting the ball well off the tee, where I'm not losing. Like that was my big issue before, was I would hit balls and I would lose balls. I wouldn't. I would just you try to hit as far as you can, you push one right and it goes into the woods. Now at least I'm being a little more conservative with that, playing the game a little bit better, and I've kind of got my driver and my driving down pat, where I'm not spraying it that far, which is good. Now it's just kind of being a little more consistent with the scoring clubs, and just scoring better, just being able to score a little bit. Hit the putts when you need to hit a putt. Inside, 15 feet, you got to be able to hit 45 to 50% of those. I'm more like 25, 30% of those. And it's got to be a little bit better.
yeah, putting's usually mine, but I had not that I putted terrible down in the villages. I just had too many 3 putts, especially to finish off.
Yeah, yeah. You kind of that was I would say that was your big thing. You really at the end of the round you kind of faded a little bit. I think you just need to play
Yeah,
more golf before we go down.
there you go. Well, anyways, that's pretty much my take on my game. That's all I got. We'll see if I do play tomorrow how it goes. So,
Yeah. Well, good luck with that. Let me know. Hopefully, we get out there and hit them.
and we appreciate everybody tuning in and give us your feedback in the comments below. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, we'd love to hear from you and appreciate your support. And everybody, if you play this weekend, most important thing is have fun and hit them straight.